I'm creatively blocked. I was telling my buddy a couple weeks ago that I just can't write right now, and he suggested that I pick up The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So I did. And today I'm starting the 12-week program. And I'd like to keep this video diary to document my progress through it because it promises to be a tumultuous or exciting or unexpectedly revelatory journey, according to the introduction. Now, there are a few things that Julia Cameron mentions in the introduction that really struck a chord with me, and so I thought I'd mention them. Is one, she gave up drinking, and after she gave up drinking is when she found out about, or when she found all these strategies. And I recently gave up drinking as well, and so there's an interesting parallel there. She writes, I had never thought drinking made me a writer, but now I suddenly thought not drinking might make me stop. And I thought that drinking helped me be a writer. So it's interesting that way. She does acknowledge that there's a lot of new age hippie fluff, I guess you'd call it, in the book, but to stick with it and to enjoy it. So that's what I'm going to do. I struggle with the spirituality aspect of the program, but I'm not against it. Yeah, it's often been a debate between my sister and I whether my artistic pursuits are an expression of my spirituality. So we're not too far off on the dialogue I've been having for most of my adult life. She mentions that there are two basic tools: the morning pages and the artist date. Now, incidentally, I've been doing morning pages for about 4 years, but I haven't been doing them correctly. I've more been writing them instead of doing them, which she points out in the introduction is one of the pitfalls that writers often fall into with this particular exercise. You're supposed to write stream of consciousness, so just whatever comes to mind, you just put it on paper. Don't think about it, don't edit it, it's just done. Whereas what I've been doing is sort of thinking through my day, journaling a little bit, and it's really become part of my day. In the morning, I do look forward to waking up and doing it. I feel like I've missed something if I don't write my morning pages that day. So yeah, so writing them stream of consciousness for the last few days has been interesting. It's definitely a different way to approach it. I like it though. And the artist date is when you do something creative with yourself, like just by yourself. You go out and you do something to inspire your creativity, to exercise your creativity. I have these little side projects that I work on all the time, and I live by myself, so I'm often alone doing creative projects, but I haven't done them with the intentionality that I think this tool is meant to have. So that'll be an interesting change going forward. So for week 1, what we're looking at doing, or what it's called, is recovering a sense of safety. So sort of expunging all of the creative hurdles that have been placed in front of you through the years, and then or I guess knocking them down. Expunging is not quite the right word. Knocking down those hurdles, and then sort of setting yourself up to be creative again. So there are a number of tasks. I've written them down here. Morning pages, artist date, list some old enemies, select some champions, write a letter to the editor about your life and mail it to yourself. Pick 5 other careers or lifestyles and live out one of them, and then create track of your blurts and change them into affirmations. Now this is an interesting one because this is where you identify the things that you say to yourself that hold you back. I'm not good at this. No, nobody's going to want to see this. It's going to affect my personal life. I don't have enough money. All of the things that I've been saying to myself. And so I'm looking forward to figuring out what those are, or at least categorizing and documenting them, and then seeing where we can go from there. On the subject of affirmations, I'm a little bit, I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to it. I am a little bit confused about how the program is supposed to work. I'm not sure if the tasks that are sort of embedded in the essays are meant to be done, and then you do the tasks throughout the week, or if you're supposed to do the tasks like in one day, and then I don't know what you do for the rest of the week. So yeah, so I'm a bit confused on that. The way I'm going to approach it is I'll do the tasks throughout the week. So she suggests that you spend an hour a day or so working on this program. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm working on the tasks for an hour a day, in addition to morning pages, and in addition to the artist date. And then, yeah, sort of the tasks embedded in the essays, I'll just see how those go. Yeah, so today's task in the essay was to write out Ali Ghulam Hussein, am a brilliant and prolific writer. And then 10 times, write that out 10 times, and then see how that goes. And you were supposed to record your blurts. It was an interesting exercise, because I immediately went to all the things that didn't quite work out for me. And not even just in writing, in terms of like relationships or friendships, or even just moves I've made or decisions I've made that in my career, or all these little things that just sort of like, no, that didn't work. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. So next week I'll do a review of this week, and I'll sort of cover what I'm looking forward to in week 2. And we'll see how this goes. Should be good. I don't know if you've done the artist way, but if you have, I'd love to hear what your experience was like. So please let me know. Right on.